Bienvenue, welcome once again to another live stream. I'm very pleased to have in the virtual studio my esteemed friend Mark Hayward. He is a man who's been running a podcast for quite some time. I'll talk to you more about that in a second. It's called Business Growth Talks, and the 500th episode is coming. Yes, and this time he's doing it in a more theatrical style. That is to say, in a live format. And I've invited Mark here to talk to you a little bit more about it. Mark, first of all, what is Business Growth Talks, and why would people find it interesting, entertaining, and edifying to come to the 500th version? Welcome.
Well, thank you very much, Gareth, for inviting me on here. So what Business Growth Talks is a show that's about growing and scaling businesses. I have entrepreneurs, business owners who have either grown and scaled a business or are in the process of growing and scaling the business. I've been doing this for over 6.5 years. As I say, I think I've published about 482 episodes so far. They're weekly on a Monday and bonus episodes on the Thursday. But the reason why I'm here today, so I'm coming to my 500th episode, and that is going to be a live podcast show, which is going to be slightly different to the rest of the shows, which are about growing and scaling. We have 4 guests who are coming along, who are going to be talking about business, but talking about their inspiration, what's driven them to be able to achieve success. And we've got a magician who's coming to do something extra on the evening. Gareth and his band Encrypted Love are going to be doing warm-up act. So I'm super excited for that show. It's a lot of moving parts to be able to get this all together, but we are getting there slowly but surely. And today, I just want to sort of talk to you guys and sort of say there is a link below. If you want to come along to the event, it's the 17th of May, Riverside Studios in Hammersmith. So if you're in London on that day, and please do come along, hit the link below and you'll be able to buy tickets directly, which guarantee you a seat for that night.
I think we need to talk a little bit more about, first of all, Business Growth Talks. I mean, how many sort of listeners have you built to? Have you got any stats around it? It's been going for 6 years, right?
Yeah, we're going for 6 years. We're averaging between sort of 8,000 downloads a month on the show. My YouTube channel, which I've started to pay a little bit more attention to because I've seen great potential with their podcast as well as their video content. So all the content's going on YouTube as well. It's growing. We've got over 4,000 subscribers. We're really looking to grow that subscription base on YouTube as well. So it is an audio show, but we also do video just because people are enjoying the video content.
Understood. So the whole point about Business Growth Talks is to promote businesses, and you're particularly focused on what end of the marketplace? We're talking about what, the SME style?
Yeah, it's the SME stage which are looking to that have grown and scaled businesses. I have people that have exited businesses, have people that have grown it to a significant size. We sort of miss the early stage startups and the sort of industry mature businesses. It's really in that middle stage where people have grown and scaled things like financial management, keeping your talent, being able to market expansion, and as well as systems and processes, which is super important when you're looking to get a lot of growth, get a maximization of your growth.
Wow. Okay. Now let's talk about the show. I'm glad to be a part of it. I'm so glad that when Mark spoke to me about it, that my band, which is called Encrypted Love, not only free but excited to perform. We're going to be the opening act. Now that will be about half an hour thereabouts of upbeat music and hopefully toe tapping stuff. But also there's other things going on. So tell me about the rest of the show, Mark.
Right, so we've got Rebecca Harbrow, who is a financial advisor. We've got Gerard Edwards, who is who's the CEO of a podcast radio. I've got a friend of mine called Louis Halpin, who is an AI specialist, who's going to talk about a very interesting twist on AI, which is be really, really interesting. That's a sort of TED Talk style that he's going to do. And then Jonathan J, who is a person that has bought multiple businesses and sold them as under an umbrella and been able to maximize his profits. We've got all of those great guests. As I said, we have a magician, which I'm super excited about, just to bring a sort of cabaret style to the evening. And it's all going to be kicked off with you, Gareth, and your band. So I'm super excited to get all of these people speaking about business, but it's going to be more than just about business. It's going to be about how they were who inspired them, how they were able to think about their sort of morning strategies, their strategies to be able to be successful. So it's going to be a lot more than the show usually is about growing and scaling. It's going to be a bit more getting to know these guests and understand what makes them tick.
So with the magician, is he going to be out in the audience, or is it going to be the stuff done on the stage?
So he's going to be on the stage, but he's told me he's going to do a Derren Brown style set.
Ooh.
So who knows what's going to happen there? He's a friend of mine who I've asked to come along, and he's thankfully agreed to do it. So I'm just super excited. It's going to be a magnificent event. It's taking a lot of work behind the scenes, but we are getting there, and I'm just super excited to everyone that is here to click the link below. Join me on my 500th episode. Most podcasts don't even last to 50 episodes, and that's the sad story of a podcast.
No, it's true. I've started a couple of podcasts, and one of them got to 20 odd episodes, and the other one got to nearly 50 odd episodes, and we just ran out of steam, I guess. But you 500 episodes, it's incredible. What an achievement, Mark.
Thank you. It's well, there's lots of things that have been there. I have people helping me. It's taken a lot of work to get that consistent, that I'm doing 1 or 2 episodes a week. It's one of those things that I genuinely love, being able to speak in front of a microphone and camera about things that are interesting me, and then having just great guests. These guys are super knowledgeable, super experienced, and I just get such a buzz from interviewing these people and delving a little bit deeper. It's usually a 60-minute episode, so we do really delve deep into the people and their journey, as well as how those hints and tips and strategies to be able to grow a business.
Well, this is really quite I'm blown away. I did not realize 500. It's quite an astonishing number. So the guests that you have on, can we talk through them on this particular episode?
So for the live event, as I said, we've got Rebecca Harbrow, who is a friend of mine, who's a financial advisor. She has bought businesses recently. She is a exceptionally talented financial advisor. I actually personally work with her because she's so good. As I said, Gerard Evans, who I've known for a number of years, he is the CEO of a company called Podcast Radio. And so there is a radio station, a DA radio station that he has, which is UK, Australia, and where we're probably going to talk a little bit on the night is his market expansion into the US market. So there is some really interesting lessons learned of being able to expand. I think he's expanded to 6 different locations in states in the US. As I said, Louis Halpern, who's been a friend for a number of years, he's just recently sold a AI business and has really been immersed in that industry, in that area for a long time now. And he's got a book hopefully being released quite soon. And he's a wonderful man, a great character. And as I said, he's going to have a particular twist on AI and the future, when it's going to impact society, business, technology. So that's going to be fascinating. And the last guest we have is Jonathan J, who is well known in the finance and business arena on being able to acquire businesses, independent businesses, bringing them under an umbrella and being able to eventually sell them. I've been to one of his events. I did a one-dayer with him, and he's knowledgeable about business and growth. And I'm super excited to get all these guys on stage for the audience to be able to learn, to be inspired, to be educated. And I'm so excited for the evening.
I mean, typically the viewer and listenership, what tends to be what mid-market and the smaller businesses.
Yeah. So
sorry, carry on.
I was just going to say, yeah, they're usually entrepreneurs, business owners, US, UK, Australia, India. We have listenership in, and then you've got places like Taiwan and Singapore, which are popular. It's distributed between men and women. The numbers say it's probably a little bit heavier on the men's side. But yeah, they're looking for hints, tips, strategies on how to grow a business. And it's been such a blessing to have this podcast. I started it when I was in corporate, and the loopholes that I had to jump through to be able to get it on the show because of that. And I just started doing it as a solo exercise to practice speaking in front of camera and microphone. And it just evolved. After about 80 episodes, I started doing interviews, and I just have learned and just really appreciate the skill of actually interviewing someone. And you're kind of doing it today, Gareth. So you know that there's a way of being able to make it effective as being an interview. And I think I've improved. I think I've got better at that craft. And I spend about an hour on each of my guests because I want to uncover what is actually the driving force for their success. And so as an interviewer, I think I've got better over the years, but I feel so blessed to have this show part of my life.
It's definitely an impressive achievement. Certainly I've been interviewing people weekly. I do 5 or 6 live streams a week, where usually about 15 to 20 minutes each, because that favors the LinkedIn algorithm. And my focal point is always about promoting whatever they do or talking about its relevance, and or giving out tips and tricks alongside it. I was only interviewing yesterday Mark Jarvis of the Mark Jarvis Academy, who is a serial entrepreneur. He says he's on his 5th and a half business right now. He's halfway through creating a new one, and his whole focus is to give the business coaching or the mentoring, and it's very effective medium doing it this way and in an interview. But as you say, practice certainly helps you get better at it, and I'm sure personally it's been a voyage of discovery for you.
Absolutely. It's I started it initially because I started doing presentations and talks to groups, so I felt I was struggling in it, so naively decided to start a show, like a sort of 10-minute episodes. I'd research something and then click the microphone and record it. And as I say, like probably about episode 80, 70 or 80, I interviewed a friend of mine who suggested doing interviews. So I said to him, well, why don't I interview you? And he said yes, and that's Andy Arter. And it's just grown from there. And now I'm getting people outreaching to me from agencies, from PR companies, from their own internal marketing to be on the show. And I have to be very selective now because of the era of growth and scaling a business. So fortunately, coaches don't get a look in anymore. But it truly is a blessing to have this show and to be part of the media as well as the business audience. And I just feel very lucky to have it part of my life.
Well, look, I can only thank you for allowing me to be a little bit part of this. I'm looking forward so much to being there. Guys, have you noticed the ticker at the bottom? You'll find there's a short link there, tinyurl.com/business growth talks. Type that in and you can go straight through and book those tickets. Now, already, I know that 35 tickets have flown out. There is only about a maximum of about 100 that can do it. I mean, I think the venue holds capacity of 150, but we need the space to be able to move equipment around, so therefore we can't really go to that sort of size. So we're looking for somewhere close to 100. So guys, get in there sooner rather than later. It is going to be in Riverside Studios, which actually is where I've often gone to go and see ITV film bits and pieces. So it's a
Yeah.
they're very well set up studio
They are.
environment, very comfortable. And it should be a lovely evening, afternoon, evening. What time are we starting? Is it 5-ish?
So you guys will come on around about 7 o'clock, and then be starting the interviews and the setup around 7:30.
That's marvelous. All right, so guys, just to finish up, Mark Hayward, Business Growth Talks, their 500th episode, this time filmed in front of a live studio audience. And if you want to be part of it, because it's going to be a great deal of fun, there's going to be a band at the beginning, there's going to be a magician, there's going to be some audience interaction. If you want to be part of that, a part of this phenomenal 500th episode, then I suggest you step on it and go to the link below, the tinyurl.com/business growth talks. We're going to actually place that link as a clickable link following this this actual cast today. But if you want to reach out to Mark to find out any more, or myself, please do so. Until then, I wish you all a cheery thank you and hello to anyone who's just picked this up. Business Growth Talks, the 500th episode in front of a live studio audience. Mark, thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy day to come talk about this. We're going to replay this again next week, but also we're going to possibly do another live stream next week just to impress upon you this is a really good thing that you should attend. And of course, don't forget that link which is coming up. I know I've repeated it, but I'm going to repeat it again. It's tinyurl.com/business growth talk. So I wish all of you a safe and delightful weekend, and of course, a great mental health. Goodbye.